And if we talk about Crazy Eight, this is another premiere, and it's also by Randall Wolf,
the same composer that created the new music for Fez, yes. Well, Crazy Eight it's probably meant as an occasional piece, the occasion being our 45th anniversary, just a celebratory, fun dance with a lot of joyous expression in it, and a way of allowing my dancers to cut loose a bit. The dances that they're performing in our repertoire right now are very, very demanding physically. My work always has been, has required the utmost in technical ability from dancers as well as poetic ability. But this dance is just something for them to be freer, to be more joyous, just to celebrate our moment. And it's actually based on a square dance. And the music of Randall Wolf is called Hee Haw, and it's sort of an insane square dance. It's very contemporary music. So it's a square dance put through a contemporary sieve and gone crazy. So I call it Crazy Eights because the square dance is always done for 8 people and is based on a square. So the music is called Hee Haw, but the dance is Crazy Eights. Also because there's 8 dancers in it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Another thing, when you mentioned about your work with technical, you've worked for Lar Theater, so many dance companies, ballet companies. But what I also found, and modern dance companies, but what I found, your work has transcended. I mean, you've done Broadway, and then you've done ice skating.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how does that compare to dance? Because I know there's a difference in momentum.
Mm-hmm. Well, those are different areas of expression, but they call for the same thing. A way of seeing music in time, a way of playing the music on your body. But the time is played differently in these various media. In dance, our concert dance world, we take time to create our expression and for our narrative, whatever that is, to unfold. In the commercial theater and Broadway theater, things happen much more quickly. And you have to say what you have to say in a 2 or 3 minute time and give it a very strong, what they like to call a button at the end. So there's kind of a structural punch that they seem to require that I didn't mind adhering to. It seemed right for the Broadway stage. Ice skating uses time very, very differently because a step of ice skating lasts much longer than a step of dance. So its relationship to music unfolds in a very different way. It not only lasts much longer than a step of dance, but a single step of ice skating uses much more time in the music, so that the way of unfolding the narrative has to be, in a way, simpler because there are fewer gestures involved, but more specific because you simply don't have that much space and time within the music to make that expression of the music.
And you know what I wanted to ask you, when you think about ice skating, there still are things they have to do.
They are?
I mean, there are levels of technical accomplishment they have to, fulfill.
Yes. They have to move on curves. They have to keep their weight situated in a particular way. They have to have passages where they simply use time to create momentum, which can't necessarily be choreographic, but one that can attempt to make it choreographic, because if they don't keep their momentum going, they simply will stop moving. So there have to be passages that allow the momentum to continue, and one has to keep in mind this thing about curves, that all ice skating moves in curves. There's things they call straight line sequences, which don't last long, and can't last long because they lose momentum.
You know, one of the things I wanted to ask you about, you have, in this season, you're doing a program A and a program B, and you're doing them 1 week each, which I think is a wonderful thing because you're allowing them, the dancers to maturate into the movement.
Absolutely, let it sit, let it cook. I always think people who see the first show are missing the best dancing there is to see. And I always think that's a shame, particularly about critics, because they only ever see the first show of anything, and they never really see the best version of these dances. They should all come later.
You know, a lot of times when I go to see things, I like to come twice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because sometimes the publicist says, "You can't come twice, well, we're giving tickets out on a Thursday."
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, if I come in the beginning of the run and I come at the end of the run, I mean, I know that you want the review to help push the season. Mm-hmm. But usually that's why I try to do a preview. Mm-hmm. But and this is what this is.
Yeah.
But then when you see the work and you have to talk about it, and this is an artist's work, it makes more sense to either see as you said, toward the end of the run, or to even see it twice, the beginning and then come back.
That would be a dream if people would take time to do that. That really isn't the way the world runs, of course, but the truth is they get better and they become more meaningful. The meaning deepens. When a dancer opens a dance for the first time, usually what's happened is that the dance has been completed not long before the premiere. They're still mastering the steps and mastering the music, and that first performance still has a thinking mind at the back of the dancer's performance. Later, that thinking mind gives over to muscle memory and gives over to intuitive responses, and the dancer is more relaxed and can really speak the poetry that the choreography requires. So later just is simply deeper, and for audience members, it's potentially a deeper experience.
So I want to thank you for taking out the time to talk to us today. Again, this is a series that I advise everybody to come see. You're as a choreographer, I think you're one of our treasures.
Well, thank you.
And I think that everyone should come see you. And again, it's going to be at the Joyce, October 8th through the 20th. It's going to be Program A and a Program B. And if you're smart, you'll come see both. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.